Good evening, everyone. Professors in the house, respected colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to a symposium this evening tonight. And the theme of today's symposium is a ways to avoid common errors in music composition. And before we dive into that, we also want to welcome all participants from all over the country, from Finland, from Ghana, from USA, from Canada. You are all welcome. We recognize all of you. We recognize all our professors in the house. Thank you very much. This evening, we have three erudite scholars that we dissect this topic. The theme, yes. Okay, please, we like to appeal to everyone. Please just mute your mic so that we can enjoy the lecture. Please just mute your. If you want to ask questions, you can raise up your hand. Please, thank you very much. So our topic is ways to avoid common errors in music composition, and we have three erudite scholars that will help us to dissect the topic. The first facilitators will talk on the basic compositional rules, and that's our professor, Professor Mike Olatoji. And also the second facilitator will talk on how to avoid consecutive in music composition. And also the third facilitator will talk about the common errors in music composition. So, this lecture is being recorded. So after the lecture, we can also listen to it on our website. We want to say many thanks to our brother, Mr. Ifelu Akintaro, who has been managing our website. Thank you very much. Without wasting much of our time, we quickly go to the first subtopic that will be handled by our professor, Professor Mike Olatoji. And I would like us to listen to a very brief profile of Professor Mike Olatoji. I hope we are together this evening. Are we together?
Yes, yes, sir.
Oh, all right, thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, we are together.
Thank you very much. So, a brief profile of Professor Mike Olatoji. Professor Mike Olatoji was born in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, Nigeria. He began his professional music career in 1983 with the Nigerian Navy Band, rising to the rank of warrant officer before disengaging. During his service years, he was an instructor at the Nigerian Navy School of Music and lead vocalist of the dance band. He obtained his BA in music performance with first-class honor, MA in music composition, and PhD. All of these degrees at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. His research interests span military music, music performance, composition, and popular music. Professor Mike Olatoji has served in various capacities, like head of departments, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Vice Dean, Faculty of Art, and so on. Professor Mike Olatoji is a virtuoso organist, and he plays other instruments like saxophone, flute, clarinet, euphonium, and so on. His composition and arrangement include Morimi, Afogofoloru, Ebometa, Jesus is Lord, A Merry Heart to Her is Medicine. He also arranged Great Evil Anthem and also composed Institute of Agricultural Research and Training Anthem. Professor Michael Latoji is married and blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, respected colleagues, let's welcome our Prof. Professor Michael Latoji to kickstart the topic, Basic Compositional Rules. Basic Compositional Rules. Prof, you are welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amole. And I want to, at this time, say good evening to our colleagues, both within and outside the country. As Dr. Amole just said, the title that I'm presenting, of the paper I'm presenting is Basic Compositional Rules and Foundations for Creative Excellence. Without wasting time, because we're three presenters are on ground, so I will try as much as possible to be fast with my presentation. Introduction, I said composition is the art and science of organizing sound into meaningful patterns. While creativity remains at the heart of musical expression, certain rules provide the foundation upon which composers can build works of enduring value. These rules are not restrictions, but guiding principles that ensure clarity, coherence, and communicability. Just as grammar shapes language, compositional rules shape music. Just like anybody who wants to build a house, the creative aspect of music is the artistic aspect of music, but the rules or the guiding principles that we have to follow are now they form the scientific aspect of music. Aim of this paper. This lecture aims to highlight essential rules that every composer, whether imagined or experienced, should internalize. By so doing, we can avoid common errors and foster works that balance originality with technical soundness. Now, I want to adapt and adopt Fela Sowande's philosophy or ideology on composition. Fela Sowande asserts that I don't compose unless I feel that to put to this way, I never said to myself that I must write something. Something says to me, I want to be written. This is the only time I compose. That's Fela Sowande who said that some years ago. Fela Sowande, it goes further to expose his ideas about composition, which he refers to as ideation. That's the ideology. Ideation. What's the meaning of ideation? It defines ideation as the capacity to contact ideas. He goes further by saying that ideas come to us only if we are worthy to receive them. And that meaningful ideas have nothing to say to the man who has not mastered the tools of his trade. Now, the technical areas of music is the fundamental. Is very, very fundamental, when considering composition. And what are the fundamental, the technical areas? Anybody who wants to dwell on composition or who wants to be a composer, or who is aspiring to be a composer must first of all, be an expert as much as possible with the rudiments of music. The rudiments will now, give birth to harmony. It will give birth. That is, we proceed to counterpoint, analysis. Then maybe possibly, if that person wants to go into instrumental music, orchestration. Now, the areas of focus: clarity, number one, clarity of musical idea. The rules there. Every composition should be guided by a central idea or theme. Then the application, that is, we need to avoid cluster by focusing on a clear motive, subject, or harmonic direction. Now, error to avoid there, and we should just avoid wandering aimlessly without thematic coherence, which leads to listener, to be confused. What are we saying here? That means you must first of all, just like somebody wants to build a house, you first of all have the picture, the entire picture of what you want to build. Now, before you now go into the areas that you are talking about, okay, then there must be balance between repetition and variety. Now, repetition creates familiarity while variety sustains interest. The application here is that use thematic development, variation, and contrast wisely. Now, because of our time, let me just, because of some other people that we present. Now, we are looking at the element of music, and as a matter of fact, anybody who wants to, who is aspiring to be a composer must be, must have the element of music, and you must have that is a firm grip of the element of music, that we want to employ. Number one, I will start with the melody. The melody, all the melodic rules. We have rules governing melodic, writing. As not little wonder that anybody who is aspiring to, maybe to venture into harmony, the very first thing after you must have learned the, the compass, or the ranges of each of the parts. Now, the next thing is to, embark on the rules of melodic writing. We all know the rules, and that is, avoiding this one, avoiding that, especially with lips, with the melody. How do you approach the lips? How do we quit the lips? And so on and so forth, especially voice leading. My harmony teacher said, he usually called it voicing. You understand? All this, maintain or keep the common notes and so on and so forth. Leading note must rise and so on and so forth. Okay, then the same thing. Interestingly, counterpoint. The same thing. The same thing applies to counterpoint. You want to start counterpoint. The very first thing is that you know the ranges of the parts, because we talked about parts also in counterpoint. Then the rules of melodic writing. Now, then the rules of harmonic writing. Just like you encounter that in harmony. Okay, and that's also now what we are saying is that the rules is just like Beethoven said, the rules are not like maybe if you disobey the rules, you are going to law, maybe to jail or something like that. But you as an expert, you must first of all understand the rules. Even at all, you are going to bend them. Even the Beethoven that you are talking about, understood the rules because he learned under Haydn, he learned under Mozart. Now, before he now became independent. So it's not that, I don't want to be under any rules. Well, you must know the rules first before you know how to bend them and how to use them specially, to attain what you want to achieve. So it's very, very important. Okay, then with the rhythmic control, you understand, we go to rhythm now. Having dealt with the melody, we get, the harmony, then rhythm. As an African, you must first of all understand the basic principles. At least you must know that, okay, how rhythms, flow, especially, in African music, somebody like Inketia, gave us a thorough explanation, about rhythm. You understand? Okay, then you will know how to employ regular patterns, which will enrich, syncopation, polyrhythms, metric shifts, and so on and so forth. Okay, Now, the basic principles, you must first of all know how to, how rhythms flow before you can now use them appropriately to suit your own composition. Then the structural unity. Now we are in the area of form now. You must first of all determine, now, okay, which form, am I adopting for, this particular composition? Now, okay, is it strophic? Okay, is it through compose? I'm talking as an African now. Now, but if it is Western oriented, okay, is it strophic? Hymn like, or is it long? The through compose? Okay, then Western now. Is it simple or is it maybe extended, form and so on and so forth? Is very, very important. But I will advise here that composers should first of all, begin small. You understand? So don't, if you are just a starter, maybe little things like maybe 4-part harmony of maybe some maybe about phrases, 4 phrases and so on like that. Maybe just start simple. You understand? So don't, just like somebody who is driving a manual car, you can, you first of all start with gear 1 before you go to gear 2, gear 3 and so on like that. You cannot just start your car and just go to gear 3 immediately. Okay, then for instrumentation, that is instrumental music now. For just like I said before, you must be a master of orchestration. So now it is from there now about the texture that you want to use nowadays. There's what we call the color. Either color in isolation of the instrument and color in combination of those instruments. And you can now talk about texture. You understand, which is the layer that you want to at a particular time. You cannot start, tutti at the beginning. Just like maybe somebody who is playing the organ. The way you pull out your stops. You understand? So just to make, to effect contrast. Then we can talk about dynamics and expression. Okay, dynamics, is these different layers of a volume. You understand? Okay, so you cannot just make everything to be 40. That is loud from the beginning. So when you have contrast, that's when you are having a very good music and a very interesting, and you keep your listener or somebody that is you are if it is a performer, you keep your listener on their seat, at the edge of their seat. Then the cultural and stylistic awareness. Don't forget what a cultural principle is guiding your composition. So the error to avoid here is copying styles blindly without contextual sensibility. You must be a master of whatever style you are adopting. Then, in rounding up now, revision and refinement. Now, the rule here is that great compositions are rarely created in a single draft. You can't, just like you write, those of us in academics, you can't just write something back and you take it to the publisher immediately. No, you have to revisit it. In fact, if possible, you can give it to somebody else. You understand? We learned that Haydn, he started composition at the age of 60. Yet he will, as history told us, he will take his composition to Mozart. You understand? Oh, just have a look. And Mozart will have some just suggestion. Oh, why can't we do it this way? No, very, very important. Then, you will need to revise, rehearse, and refine to correct technical slips and strengthen ideas. Now, the error to avoid here is presenting first drafts without polishing. So it's very, very important, just like I said before. Now, in conclusion, as basic compositional rules provide the scaffolding upon which imagination can flourish. They help composers avoid technical pitfalls while enhancing communicative depth. By combining discipline with creativity, composers can craft works that are structurally sound, emotionally powerful, and culturally relevant. The future of African art music will thrive not merely on innovation, but also on careful craftsmanship rooted in these enduring principles. Now, take home now. The take home lines, it's found, you will see continuous improvement. Look at that, just a draft. The picture that we have here, continuous improvement. Somebody, continuously is improving, is building, is better than delayed perfection. So don't wait until you get, you reach the level of perfection. Otherwise you will not start. And days are flying by. And time is going. Continue. Just make sure that you keep on. You go on with whatever you are doing, and you will be improving as time goes on. I thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Oh, Prof, thank you very much. Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Please, let's just jot down our questions. Prof is still online. Let's jot our questions so that we'll go to the second speaker quickly. Dr. Louis Ekezie is standby there, and he'll be talking on how to avoid consecutive in composition. Because some of us that have submitted our composition for publication, some of these errors are found. So I am believing God that after today's this symposium, this lecture, some of us will be able to at least understand consecutive and will avoid it in writing and all that. So let me quickly introduce to us Dr. Louis Ekezie. Dr. Louis Ekezie is a native of Rumui, Ata, in the Ikedu local government area of Imo State. He holds NCE, BEd, MA, and PhD in music theory and composition. He has been the music director of Owerri Catholic Archdiocese and the secretary of the Liturgical Music Commission of Archdiocese for many years. He is the founder and the director of St. Lee Golden Voices Owerri. He was once the head of Department of Music at Havana Model Secondary School, Owerri, and head of Music Department at Vanikoku Federal University of Education. Dr. Louis Ekezie is a musicology par excellence, a composer, arranger, producer, and a performer. He is happily married to Mrs. Chinyere Ekezie. Professor in the house, respected colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Louis Ekezie to talk to us on how to avoid consecutive in music composition. Dr. Louis, you have the floor. You are welcome, sir. Hello, Dr. Louis Ekezie.
Okay. Yes, I'm here. Yes. Thank you very much. And I also extend my thanks to everybody in the floor, in the house. My own assignment is brief because he said how to avoid consecutives in music composition. And this tells us that as far as music composition is concerned, we're bound to get some consecutives. And then, we will not be told what composition means. Just getting raw materials, gathering the melody, rhythm, harmony, putting them together, producing a dish. And if we overflog any section of these, the composition might not be okay. Now, these consecutives we are talking about, we know that the music composition, this consecutive mean consecutive intervals or course, which create a sense of parallel movement or motion between two or more voices in a harmonic process. We also know that consecutives specifically are experienced when two or more voices move in parallel fifths. We know what parallel fifths are. For example, maybe the soprano, the bass is on the C, soprano is on G, then bass moves to D, and the soprano moves to A. They would say that they're singing consecutive or parallel fifths, because C to D, G to A, they are just parallels, consecutive parallel fifths. Or when maybe the bass line is on C and the soprano is also on C, then the bass on D, the soprano on D too. Or this thing can happen between parts, especially when we are doing a 4-part harmony. But this thing, when it happens, it has some deficiencies. It has certain things that will not make the music production okay. I am saying that it is also important to know that consecutives can lead to the following. Number one, we'll have loss of independence as voices will move in parallel. They will lose individuality and thereby create a sense of duplication, which is not better for sound composition. Number two, harmonic thinness, because excessive use of consecutives can result in a harmonically thin and or empty sound. Number three, lack of contrapuntal interest, since consecutives can make the music sound less engaging and less contrapuntally interesting. These are the likely things that will come when consecutives appear in a harmony. Now, going straight to the topic which says how to avoid consecutives. I want us to know that these consecutives are born out of the use of the Western chord coda system, which we call triad. And as a matter of fact, every use of the triad in harmony must obey the rule in using triad, which includes, if you are using triad, you must avoid consecutives. It's a rule. There are other rules that govern the use of the triad. Like you'll be told the ones to double, because the triad is three, where you have the root, you have the third, and the fifth. And if you're harmonizing for 4 parts, it is necessary that one of the either root, third, or fifth has to be doubled to accommodate the one that is not there. And then rule of triad will tell you which of the triads will have its root doubled or its third doubled or the fifth doubled. That is the first thing anybody who is going into composition must know. Some of the indigenous music harmonies enjoy consecutive, but once you are using triad to harmonize, you must obey this. And when it appears, it will not be okay. Now, I also want to tell us that it's not compulsory that everybody must be a composer. If you want to go into composition, we have two types. There is a natural one. We say somebody is a natural composer. That's nature that has given that person the opportunity to compose. Then another one is nurture. The one we go to school and we are taught the rules and all these things. But then, if you are naturally endowed with composing, you also need the nurture, because it is in the nurture that all these rules will be explained more for you to know what to do. You might think what you are doing is right, but provided it's out of the rule of what is established, it will not be okay. Now, consecutives, as we know, make music at times lose the taste if they appear in harmony. As a matter of fact, every use of the triad in harmony must obey the rule in using triad, which includes avoidance of this consecutive, which I've said before. It is also, like I've said also, that in indigenous music harmony, consecutives beautify the harmonic process. We might say, how does that one go? Because if in African music, or indigenous music of the people, when they add consecutive, they want it, because the base of their harmony is not a triad, like you're doing chant or something like that. It's not. So going to the topic, how to avoid consecutive. Consecutive can be avoided by the use of contrary motion, because in music there is what we call motion or movement. When like something is moving in a parallel motion, that is, everybody is moving the same way, then it is always there that you experience consecutives. But to avoid such, when you use the contrary motion, which means voices moving in opposite directions, and they will create more independence and interest. For example, if voice 1 is going C, E, G, ascending, voice 2 goes G, E, C, descending, you have seen that they are moving in contrary motion or movement. Another technique to use to cancel, to avoid consecutive use of oblique motions. That is, one voice is moving while leaving the other voice stationary. That is oblique motion. Example is this: one voice is moving, C, E, G, moving, and one stays on C, C, C. That is oblique. It can be used to eradicate voice consecutive. Another one is voice crossing. When you go into voice crossing, this will create more independence and thereby avoid parallel motion. For example, voices crossing each other to avoid parallel motion. A, voice 1, baby soprano, is G, E, C, E, G. Voice 2, alto, G, B, D. Voice 1, soprano, G, B, D, crossing above alto. Voice 2, alto, CEG, crossing below soprano. So another technique we can use to avoid the consecutive is the use of inter variety of hard richness and appeal. Example is when you voice one like CE, major third, voice two, CG, perfect fifth, voice one, C to E flat, minor third, C, voice two, CG, perfect fifth. These things, when they're used, they go a long way to cancel the consecutive that have been created. And how do you determine consecutive? You check what is the relationship between the bass and the tenor, what's the relationship between the bass and the alto, what's the relationship between the bass and the soprano, what's the relationship between the tenor and the alto, between the tenor and the soprano, between the alto and the soprano.
Sir, you can try to conclude because of the third speaker, please. Thank.
Okay.
Let's try to summarize
Okay.
that.
So with okay, thank you very much. You know, this topic is supposed to be given a longer distance, but however, having said all those ones I've mentioned, we can use contrapuntual techniques like imitation, if you wish to remove it. Imitation, one voice imitates another voice, and another one, you can use canon. You know what canon music means? That's do as a leader. One voices enter at different times, imitating each other. Then you can use counterpoint, interweaving multiple independent melodies. So with the time frame and all this stuff, then I think let me just leave it at that place. But the whole thing is summarized that before you go into composition, try to know the rudimentary things needed so that you don't go creating problem. Like when you make this mistake and you give it to somebody to vet, you put that person into a very hard work. So thank you very much. God bless all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Louis AKJ. Thank you. God bless you. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much. I hope you will make this your paper, available for us, please, so that you can also digest them more. Thank you. Without wasting much of our time, let's quickly move to the third topic. Our facilitator is standby, is waiting. Mr. Chinam Augustine Chinedu. Let me quickly introduce him to us. Mr. Chinam Augustine Chinedu is a dedicated music educator and artist with a passion for nurturing musical talent. He hails from Ibiato South local government area of Imo State. Education background. His academic journey in music began with a Bachelor of Education degree in music from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He specialized in composition and he graduated with first-class honor. After his first degree, he proceeded to Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, Rivers State, where he obtained his MA degree in performance and he specialized in voice. Mr. Chinam Chima is a virtuoso organist and a multi-instrumentalist, composer, choral conductor, He has composed numerous choral works with piano, organ, and orchestral accompaniments. His expertise extends to music software analysis, music scoring, and music notation, studio engineering, and acoustic piano tuning and repairs. Mr. Chinam Augustine is married with lovely children. Ladies and gentlemen, respected colleagues, let's welcome our brother, Mr. Chinam. Chinam, you will talk to us on the common errors in composition. We appeal that you just summarize so that people can ask questions. Thank you. You have the floor. You are welcome.
Okay, good evening, everyone, my respected colleagues and senior colleagues in the house. I'm so grateful that
Good evening,
I'm grateful to God. Yes, thank you, sir. I'm so grateful to God for this opportunity. I will be speaking just a few points on common errors in notation. I am happy that Dr. Louis and Professor have taken their time to talk about common errors in composition, especially as it deals with parallels and all related issues, bus crossing and all that. So I won't be bugging you with all that. I'll be talking more on common errors in notation. Where we have more challenges in as musicians is when we want to notate what we already have, conceived in our heads. And sometimes we confuse the people who are playing or those who will perform our works by the way we notate the music. And it is right for me to point out for us here that our main challenge or our main focus when we notate should be to get something that is readable by everyone. Not everyone is a master in trying to read music easily. Some persons are just upcoming, and the easier we make it for them to read our music, the better for us. So I would like to start by saying, when we notate music, accuracy is crucial to ensure clear communication of the composer's intent. Common errors can lead to confusion, misinterpretation, and performance issues. Even as a composer, once there are ambiguities and unclear notations on the performance of the piece that we are written, then we have challenges in understanding what the person is actually doing. So, I'll talk about a few things that we need to put into consideration. One is mixed meter. Different time signatures or meter changes when they are not properly notated. At the beginning of the music, I have issues with many persons who notate meters wrongly. I see many musicians write music and they write 4/4, and above it they write 4/4 allegro. And when they perform, they're performing 2/2. Why do we do so? And these people are supposed to be learning from us. So there should be a clear distinction between a normal quadruple time and double time. Now, when we want to write, we tend to write 2/2. We should Yes, it is permissible that they can write a crochet that is done since it means the same. But we are not also when we have the crotchets written and when we have it in and then we have the 8th note following. Same thing happens even with the rest. Now, the next one we'll have here, there is the inconsistent subdivisions. Okay, yeah, I think I talked about that just now. So we need to always avoid inconsistent note durations. We use clear type signatures, use note triplets very well, maintain consistent subdivisions. If you intend, for instance, for works you are using for yourself, that's not for international standard, for instance, and you want to use the dotted crochet, it must be consistent all through your work. If you want to also use a dotted crochet with an 8-note following, make sure it is consistent, okay? Not to use this and then somewhere use something else. Now, I talk about accidental confusions. We incorrectly use accidentals, omitting or correcting, or applying sharps or flat notes or natural notes to notes. I need us to understand something. When you write,
Hello, Mr. Chima.
I think we lost him. Network, I guess.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Chima. Are you there?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Show
Okay.
that he left now, so I think he has left.
I think it
Okay.
should be network.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we will yes, it's the network. So sorry for that. We'll continue. Maybe when he join us, maybe through a question, we can also point out some things and all that. And most of these things that have been pointed out, I've been seeing in some of the compositions that we submitted for publication. So, and I'm sure that some of us, when we send back the correction, will do the needful. So I don't know if we have question now we can ask within few minutes we have. Prof is still in the house. Dr. Louis is still in the house. So please, if you have any question, please. If you have question, please, you can raise it. Do we have any question, please?
My hands are raised, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Good day, family.
That's Reverend Oscar from Finland, I guess.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oscar King, and I'm glad to be here. I'm honored to be here. It's actually intimidating to have these many bosses in the same place. It almost sounds like recital all over again. Okay, so question I was asking, thank you so much, sir. The question I was asking is the second speaker, the speaker who spoke 2 speakers back. I wasn't here at the introduction. I don't know if that's Dr. Louis or Reverend Professor Mike. Can you hear me? The one who spoke before the case on parallel lines. There was something he said at the end before he rounded up.
Professor Mike.
Yes, I think Professor Mike. Exactly. There were the last 2 statements. These are very strong quotables that he said before he rounded up, just at the point of rounding up. If we could have that again, they were very solid. I don't know if Professor is able to remember.
Okay, Prof, sir, over to you, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, You said that I mean, please, can you repeat what you said?
All right, sir. In the last 1 minute before you ended, within about maybe 30 seconds before you ended, there was something you said that was very clear, like quotables, very strong. We can use and we use that to challenge our music, our choruses and everything. You said it, and I gave a thumbs up at that point. But I wish you'd say it again. I'd like to write it down. I don't know if it's right. It was at your closing, at your summation.
Prof, did you get the question, sir? Prof, sir?
No, if I'm still on, I think I was logged out and then I'm back again. So I'd like to know if I'm still on.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Please, we are the question and answer now. Maybe you also come in, please.
Do you want me to answer, or do you wait for other questions?
Prof, please go ahead, sir.
Hello. Prof, please go ahead, sir. Okay, while rounding up, I said, is a caption, take home lines, and where I put a picture, I said continuous, I maybe you can request for, I don't know whether you missed that, the PowerPoint, there's a PowerPoint, I included there, which says continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. I don't know whether that is what you are talking about.
No, it's not, sir. Well, maybe you said it on that one. I don't think it was documented, but it was very salient, very, very important.
It must, most of what I said, I was just looking at the PowerPoint, and I was saying, if you can really capture that thought, the line of thought, maybe I can remember. You understand? Yeah. Otherwise, maybe we can interact maybe after the program.
That would be good. Thank you, Professor.
God bless you. God bless you.
So please, may I know what's going on? Can we continue, please?
Just yes, please. Yes, Mr. Chima, please, over to you. Just you can summarize in a few minutes, please.
Okay. I don't know from which part that I was well, if you can hear me, I was talking about, I don't know if you can see my screen, everyone. Please, can you see the screen?
Yes. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Oh no.
Please go ahead. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I was talking about the use of accidental. Yeah. So I was talking about the use of accidental.
Yes.
Good. So you could see the difference in the first construction here, where we have the PE flat on lowered, and then the next bar where it is corrected, and also look at the second one there. So I'm going to be brief about this. I will drop all these the slides for us later, so we can go through them. So we also have other issues like incomplete dynamics, the use of dynamics in our compositions. Sometimes we end up giving instructions about dynamics, but we keep them open. Like we give a dynamics that looks like a crescendo, and there's none that tells us it crescendo ends here, or it continues, or there should be a decrescendo. So unclear transitions like crescendo or decrescendos should be well taken care of when we write our songs. I'll go faster. Now we also have errors like missing articulations. Missing articulations. Sometimes we use wrong articulations. We intend to write staccato and we write the order. We write tenuto and other. So we should know most composers actually follow what they hear when they use some music notations, but they don't actually tell exactly what they intend to achieve using such articulations. Now you on the screen you can see the um, difference between the different articulations that we have here. You have the staccato with just a dot on the note. The tenuto with a slight dash, like in the hyphen of the note. And then the marcato looks like, a curve. And then you have the accents. Some of these things, when we use them, we don't actually know what they use. So we, as composers, should always be on the lookout for exact thing, that we have in our minds when we use them. There is more serious issues that I would like us to talk about, which is separation of notes or separation of words, lyrics, when we write in ourselves. Sometimes we separate words wrongly. We separate words wrongly. We use a hyphen when we separate our words, but if we have to write something like coming, a word like coming, the right thing should be you write COM. The ING must be separated with a hyphen. Coming. And then we are also told, or we are reminded, that when we write standards, international standard works, when we have one syllabic word, the notes could be joined with beams. But when we are writing single syllabic words and they are in little particles of 8 notes or 6 notes, they are meant to start alone, not to join together. If I want to say go to, GO and GO, go to, they are two different words. Even though I want to use 8 notes to represent these two different words, they should not be joined together. They should be written separately. That's one. That's another thing. Then I have another issue with some persons using what I call archaic clef signs, archaic clef signs. We have some archaic clef signs that when we use them, they also give wrong interpretation of our works. Sometimes we don't know how to use them. So the best for us is to always avoid using the cake song, like the French violin sign for clef, G clef, the soprano clef, the mezzo soprano clef, the tenor clef in B.
Hello? Mr. Chinam? Hello, Mr. Chinam? Okay. The network is really frustrating. Okay. Let's continue. I don't know if we still have any question. Can take Prof is still in the house. Dr. Luekeze is still very much around. Do you have any question before we round off, please? Any question? Any question? Okay. Okay. If there's no other question,
Okay,
we want to appreciate
hello,
everyone.
sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have
Yes,
two
sir.
people raising their hands. Sunday Babalola.
Okay, okay. Okay, good. Okay, please. Okay, okay. Please. Mr. Dr. Sunday Babalola, over to you, please.
All right, Mr. Sunday Babalola, you can go ahead.
Perhaps the second person can continue.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yes, my name is Oladapo. I really is not a question. I don't have a question
Yes, I'm back
really.
now. Sorry about that.
But I want to just hello. Can I go on?
Please, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I just want to say
Please
thank you
do.
for this opportunity. And unfortunately, I think the time is too short for each of the presenters. Would have been maybe we would even have 45 minutes for each person. I have a lot that we have learned from this. As much as so many people know them, but it's good that we have learned a lot. So I want to commend you for this effort. Maybe we still have to do it again so that we can highlight some of those things again. I don't know if those things were going to be mentioned in the copies sent in or they are not related to them. Maybe you will enlighten us about that later. But it's a very um, uh, time we have had, even though I will say that we need more on each of those topics. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, because some of our presenters, they are also our consulting editors, and I said it that most of the things pointed out, they've seen all these things in the works we sent to them for vetting, and that's why they were able to talk with authority because they discover some of these errors and mistakes in our composition sense. So when we receive these the corrections, we can effect them properly. Thank you very much. Your suggestion is noted. Thank you. Yes, the next person, please.
Good evening.
Okay, Mr. Thank God.
Good evening.
Yes, please go ahead. Good evening. Good
This
evening,
is
sir.
Dr. Bala. Dr. Bala Sunday from Lagos. Well, I appreciate
You're welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate all the speakers, including our prof. I'm confused in one state. When we talk about composition, there's some people that normally criticize. For instance, if I'm writing in Yoruba language, and we know that there's respect in Yoruba language, and I want to reference God, If I want to use Jesus now, I may use capital letter. We always say, you can't use capital letter, use small letter for everything. So I want to know, is capital letter allowed when we are writing a composition? That's one. Then two, when we talk about composition and we are using Western harmony, where is the place of this Ekiti people? Where is the place of Ekiti people in that Western harmony? That is two. Then the last speaker, I will want the last speaker to be specific, where we are having the consecutives and the parallel. It was as if it was modular, so that everybody will understand what is going on. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sunday Babalola. Thank you. So our facilitators, they are still much around. Prof is still in the house. Dr. Louis Keze, Mr. China. So please, over to you.
So I don't know if the last question was addressed to me. The last speaker.
Oh, okay. Prof, sir, let's start from the last speaker.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. China, please go ahead. Mr. Augustine, please go ahead, please.
I need to get that question again. What was that question he asked, please? Is it there, please? Can he repeat the question again so I can clearly?
Okay, I said something on the.
Please, what was the question he asked?
I'm still repeating the question, sir.
Please
I
go
said
ahead.
something about parallel and consecutives. I'm saying that it should be specific where we're supposed to have it and where we're supposed not to have it. Thank you, sir.
I think Dr. Louis Ekeze talks about the consecutive. If Dr. Louis Ekeze is in the house,
I think it was Dr. Louis who talked about. I think it was Dr. Louis was the person who talked about parallel.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm here. I did say.
Oh, thank you, Doc.
I did say that if you are using the Western chordal movement, that is the triad, you are duty bound to avoid parallels because they don't accept it. But in some other, like you mentioned, the indigenous music, if you're not using triad in the harmony, they embrace, in fact, use of parallel will make their music very sweet. So that's what I said. Parallels, consecutives, they're the same thing. They all pertain to Western harmony that is based on the triad. That's three agreeable notes that are sounded together. That's the chord. So that's it. And another one.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, there was another thing he said about the use of capital letter. Yeah, the capital letter, the stresses the word that is used. Like now, if you can't just use a small letter to write Jesus as you mentioned. So if you are using it, you will still use capital to indicate, because small letters, they're not as, there's what we call accent. The accent or the accent has to respect the word that is, and if it is something that is like if you're writing and such a thing is on the back, That is the first beat of the bar. If the word is a strong word, you have to use it. You have to use capital to write it, not small letter.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Louis Ekeze. Prof, sir, so he mentioned something about the Ekiti music, the place of Ekiti music in composition. So, Prof, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for that question, Dr. Babalola. Yes, let me say this. Ayoban Kole of blessed memory died, if I'm not mistaken, in 1976. But among his vocal compositions, Mofe Beji, Dr. Babalola, please look for that. That particular composition is for SATB. Where he really, there is a particular set of people that communities among the Yoruba that we call Eastern Yoruba. Starting from Ife, Ijesha, you understand? No, that particular composition, he experimented with seconds, parallel seconds, and you will see, exactly what you are, this particular question you raised now, you will find it there. There's something is that honestly, there's nothing, as far as there's no melody, I just like one of the presenters, I can't remember now, I think it's the second presenter, said, I think we should not just limit ourselves to this triadic, the triadic harmony. You understand? No? Even the triadic harmony is not even the final, because we have 7th, we have 9th, we have 11th. You understand? But most of what you are saying, this aspect that we are referring to is more of modal, the modal, form. You understand? No, Oluwa ku iṣẹ́ o, Oluwa ku iṣẹ́ o. Most time I've seen many keyboardists when you sing in the kit, you will just see that they are not playing again. It's because they are limited. You understand? So, and if you cannot even cope with the melody, how will you cope with the harmony itself? You understand? So, like Ayoban Kole, deliberately, harmonized in seconds. That's what I said. There's something is that you must master, whatever you are using, the harmonic principles first. You understand? Then, before you now know how to use them. You understand? He did the same thing in one of these Christmas. Kérésìmesì tí màá dé o, ẹ̀yin ènìyàn. You understand? If you are looking at the harmony, you will think it's consecutive. You understand? No, because he had to blend. You know, just like the second speaker said. You can invert. You understand? A consecutive fit, when you invert it, it becomes a fourth. You understand? No, just take that part, the part that is forming, the consecutive, the lower one, just take it up. You understand? A fifth will become a fifth will now become a fourth, and so on. So, the ability, your ability to go around is, will depend on your knowledge, deep knowledge. It's not just a day job, just like I said. It's not, it's over a period of time. It's just like somebody, in any endeavor, you understand, you learn with the job. Thank you very much. I think I've answered the question. So, and I want to align with the last speaker. I want to align with the last speaker. Now, as far as vocal music is concerned, vocal music is, taking, is taken from a poem or poetry. You understand? No, for those of us who started with this ABRSM, you understand? No, setting words to music. Now, a proper noun, must start, like especially names of towns, human beings, and so on. It must start with a initial capital. So, it must be maintained as well. You can't, you don't want to write Matthew or John or Kudirat, and you start with a small letter. I think, it must, the poetic, the poetic inclination must be maintained. Thank you very much.
Oh, Prof, thank you very much. Prof, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Dr. Babalola, thank you also for that question. I don't know. Maybe let me raise this one, Prof, and our facilitator. I have problem with people that transcribe. You know, you want to transcribe from English to Yoruba, to from Yoruba to English. You know, at times it will not, the syllable will be different, and that's why we're having problem in this tonal inflection. Let's take for example, if you have, let's say, a song like God is so good. Now you have do mi re, just four. Transcribe that into Yoruba. You can't get that because God in Yoruba is Oluwa, which is just one syllable is God. But Oluwa, three syllable now. Now let me now take it to, I want to, sing God is so good in Yoruba. I will now sing Oluwa Dara. I've changed the melody. Now, if it is in Igbo now, Chineke Ndimma. Look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's even more than 4, which is God is so Chineke Ndimma. So how do we balance? Because at times people that transcribe all these things, they change the melody of the song. So I don't know, sir, please.
You want me to answer that question?
Yes, Prof, sir.
Yes, Prof, sir. Okay. I think I think what you are talking about is translation. That
Yes,
is
sir.
translating, from one language, especially from English, language to, maybe African any of the African languages.
Yes, sir.
Like, okay, somebody did Hallelujah chorus in different languages, different Nigerian languages and so on and so forth. I think, do I get your point?
Yes, Prof. Yes, sir. Yes, Prof.
Yes, sir. Yes, Prof. Okay. Honestly, I'm not an advocate of such a translation. Now, the reason being that most African languages, in fact, if not all, majority of African languages are tonal. Now, the very first thing, the very first, offense I have there is that, such a translation, or maybe, that song that is translated will not capture, the tonal inflection of any of the, for example, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. That is for the Lord God omnipotent reigneth, nítorí Olúwa. I mean, it has distorted. That is not.
No. Yes, sir.
In fact, you are in the syllabic perspective, but beyond that, it distorts. It distorts, the tonal inflection of the language. I mean, I don't see any reason why can't you just, I mean, those maybe, a little bit on church music. Now, the people, something like that happened at the beginning. I mean, Vida, Ekweme, they've written a lot on that. Especially to maintain, the tonal inflection of languages. For example, the people who started, that is the musicians, the church musicians who started, they were doing that. They would just take the English hymns and they start, to translate. But later, for example, Abide With Me, Wá bá mi gbé, alẹ́ fẹ́rẹ́ lẹ́tàn. No, I mean, that is Abide With Me. But, people like J.J. Ransom Kuti and all of them, and T.K. Phillips, no, they look at the text, they see that, this is not suitable for our language. And, H.S.O.N.A. also did that, something like that. So now they will now write something around, contextually, around that. For example, the same Wabami Gbe, now Wabami Gbe Èdùmàrè ilẹ̀ ń ṣú lọ Olùrànlọ́wọ́ aláìní. No, anybody who speaks Yoruba, we perfectly understand that particular, apart from rhythm, the tonal inflection. So you understand? No, it is purely Yoruba. No, the two perspectives purely Yoruba. No, not that the metricalization. No, we are not used to metricalization. We don't speak like that. That is well, I did my master's. Looking at T.K. Phillips' ideology. You understand? So it is the combination of both the rhythmic aspect and the tonal, the tonal inflection. You understand? So it's not only the tonal inflection aspect, the rhythmic aspect as well. Because speech also have their own rhythm. The rhythmic flow of speech. I can't say that I want to go to Lagos tomorrow. You understand me? People, mo fẹ́ lọ sí Èkó ní ọ̀la. No, people will say something is wrong with this person. He's not speaking Yoruba. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Prof, I thank you very much. Hello?
Oh, you are welcome, my daughter.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
I thank you very much. I thank you very much. This area of tonal inflection, somebody who has that language as his first language may understand what the person wants to say. But for somebody who has a language as a second language, it's a total confusion because the meaning would distort. Yeah, and what I advise people is, if you can use the words, translate it in your own distance, and follow the tonal inflection and recompose, not going to imitate what is there. You want the tune, yes, because the problem came from people who translated from English tunes. Then they want to see something closer to what the English sound is, and in the course of doing it, they cause more harm. Because once you are making a statement, communication gap is one of the problems the world has encountered. When people don't understand what we are, for example, I'm from Igbo, then you want to say God has power in heaven. Then you not translate it. It sounds God has big buttocks on the bicycle. So you can see the two things. The two things cannot agree. Your intention is God has power in heaven. But the way you have translated it is reading God has big buttocks on the bicycle. So how can you correlate? So these are the things.
Thank you, sir.
Like Prof rightly
said,
before anybody goes into this art, because I did mention about nature and nurture. That natural aspect of anybody's existence is very, very important. Go and learn the rudiments of it. How does this move? How does it move? So that when you apply it, you won't have less problem. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, before we run, I think we have Reverend Oscar is raising up his hand, and Dr. Babalola. I don't know, briefly, before we close. Reverend Oscar King, please. Hello? Okay. Dr. Babalola? Okay. Mr. Kentaro, do we still have anybody raising up hand there?
No, the only person we have is Ade. Okay, another person has joined now. Ade Donyomoto Show.
Okay, please, just let the person come up.
Thank you very much, Saz. Thank you very much, Prof. We are grateful for this opportunity. My question goes to Professor Mike Olatunji. Thank you very much for that session, sir. You mentioned something while answering someone's question on the usage of modal when we are approaching uh, African languages text or the scoring. But I would just like to ask or know more on how to go about the harmony. Because when we talk about modal, we're talking about the scale, the scale pattern. Will the harmony also follow the triad? I think I would actually need more light on that, sir. So I would just know everything from here. So I'll be able to like grab the entire thing from here, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know if you understand the question, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. I do. Dr. Amole, do I answer the question now?
Yes, Prof. Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, when I was, I don't know whether you have already joined when I answered Dr. Babalola's question, because it's in the same area. I referred him to Ayobankole's Mofebeji. Please, if you have not, if you don't have the music, please, I can give it to you. So you will see, most times, we are some people are limited to this triadic harmonic approach. You understand? No, harmony goes, especially at the the higher level. Harmony goes beyond these triads. You understand? No, I told you that Ayobankole, Ayobankole experimented with parallel seconds, because that's the way the traditional Ekiti songs. That's the way they harmonize. Even if Elisha and so on and so forth. You understand? Is for that music is SATV, and you will hear Ekiti, you will hear Ijesha. The harmony there. So what I'm saying is that. Harmony, just like we have said before, harmony is not limited. In fact, the triadic, the triadic approach, that is you double, if you are in the major, you can double this one, you can double that one. There are some, chords that they are just there, different, different notes. Like for example, a seventh. Which one? A seventh, you have the root, the third, the fifth, the seventh. Either major or minor seventh. You understand? And so on like that. There is the ninth. There is 11th. So please, let us go beyond. That's what I'm saying. That a composer must be a master. But we start more. Just like I said that as a maybe you are driving manual car. You don't start with a GF3. You understand? No, you start small. You understand? No, and begin. There's nothing wrong with the triadic harmony, but you should not you should not be limited to triadic harmony. Otherwise, the road is still far. The journey is still far. You understand? So please, I can give you that that particular composition, Mofebeji by Ayobankole. You understand? And then maybe you can start from there. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Prof, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Ifeakintaro, please. Do we have any?
No other person.
Okay, I thought I saw somebody send a question. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so yes, thank you very much. We want to specially thank our facilitators, our Prof, Professor Michael Latunji, Dr. Louis Ekeze, Mr. Chinam Augustine. Thank you very much. We appreciate you this evening. We pray that God will continue to enrich your knowledge. God will continue to bless you as you are blessing others. God will continue to endow you with more knowledge and understanding We really appreciate you. This is a Society of African Music Composer, SAMCOM. Those that have submitted their composition for publication, as from next week, we begin to send you the correction. Some of these things that have been pointed out so that we can effect the correction. So, I want to appreciate every one of us. Thank you all. We pray that God will continue to be with each and every one of us. And also, a special thank to my brother, Mr. Um, Feoluwa, Yola Akintaru. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. God bless you. I don't know. Roy Akintaru, please, you can close up with a closing prayer so that we can go. Thank you.